If you live in Lawrenceville, Lawrence Township, New Jersey, or you're thinking about moving there or just want to understand why it's a great place to live and what's happening in the market, you're in the right place. I'm Josh Wilton, and this is the Wilton Report. Stay tuned. Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Wilton Report. So again, I am Josh Wilton, co-owner of Queenston Realty, Princeton Property Management Services, et cetera, et cetera. Excited to talk to you today about Lawrenceville Township. So Princeton feels out of reach. West Windsor, Montgomery feel crazy hyper competitive. Can't get the house you want there. Lawrenceville's like right there, man. It's the next town over from Princeton. It's right in between them. So it's got real history, real neighborhoods, and real values. So we're going to break it down today. We're going to talk about the history and talk about the market. So interestingly, Lawrenceville Township is one of New Jersey's oldest townships, formed in 1697 as Maidenhead Township by Quaker settlers. So there's the Quaker school in Lawrenceville because the Quakers were amongst the earlier settlers. So it's amongst the oldest municipalities in the state. If you didn't know, Maidenhead was named Lawrence Township in honor of Captain James Lawrence, a War of 1812 naval hero known for the phrase, "Don't give up the ship." So if you've never heard that phrase before, you should go back to history class. But if you've heard the phrase, "Don't give up the ship," it's James Lawrence, and Lawrenceville Township's named after him. Lawrenceville was a colonial crossroads, so it was like a trading route town. So again, back in the day, if you're leaving Princeton or West Windsor by cart or canal, it was a little bit of a hike to get down to Lawrenceville. So again, King's Highway, which is 206, was one of the first major roads and postal routes in the country. It is home to Lawrenceville School, which is one of the premier prep schools in the United States, formed in 1810. Really absolutely beautiful campus, beautiful athletic facilities. And again, Lincoln Highway, right? The old roads became Lincoln Highway, was one of the first transcontinental highways in the United States. Say that 10 times fast. So again, Lawrenceville is a very old, very historical township. And about 33,000 residents in Lawrenceville. So that's as of 2020, the last census. So, pretty good sized municipality. There's definitely some cool neighborhoods in Lawrenceville to know about. I think the number one neighborhood is probably easy to figure out. It's called Lawrenceville Village. Why? It's sort of smack in the center of town. It's across the street from Lawrenceville Prep. It's got those cute shops. It's got the Gingered Peach, which is probably, arguably, the best bakery you're ever going to go to in your life. It's got a Starbucks. And it's funny, when Starbucks went in, I actually gave a talk locally that I predicted real estate prices will go up in Lawrenceville as a direct result of that. And they did, and you can research that. There's Eldridge Park. There's Quaker Bridge. There's the US 1 corridor. There's Rosedale. There's, a ton of communities in Lawrenceville. There's townhouse communities, single-family home communities, 55-plus home communities. Really a diverse, very big township. So just really great places to live. Lawrenceville Village, if you're coming from outside the area, you can kind of consider that the donut hole in the middle of town, and the rest of it sort of rotates around that. So it has some great parks, by the way. Village Park is over 60 acres. Central Park, Lawrence Veterans Park, it's 20 acres, a lot of woods there, a lot of jogging paths. It has an amazing trail system. Believe it or not, the Lawrence Hopewell Trail. It's currently, I think, 18 miles. It's going to be 22 miles when it's done. It's a loop trail. So you can start and stop at certain places. You can do the whole thing and walk a big 20-mile loop, but it's really beautiful. Goes through some really open pastoral historical areas of Lawrenceville and Hopewell. So again, in Lawrenceville, the top 5 things you need to know as a buyer about moving to Lawrenceville Township. You are buying history and character. Like some of the houses on the main street in Lawrenceville are from the 1700s. One of my customers has one. Absolutely beautiful. You're buying character in that this town has been going since the 1600s. The schools are very stable. They're very good, right? You can look on niche.com for all the school reports. The commute and the location are major perks. Lawrenceville is interesting in that it doesn't have its own train station, but from certain parts of Lawrenceville, you can get to the Hamilton train station in literally less than 10 minutes. From other parts of Lawrenceville, you can be at the West Windsor train station in 10 minutes. It's close to PA, a little closer than Princeton, but it's also got easy access to Route 1, 295, and 95 in Philadelphia. So from the perspective of commuting, it's got major access to jobs. The neighborhood variety is amazing, meaning you have the historic village, you have suburban corridors, you have massive estates. Parts of Lawrenceville have what they call the Princeton zip code, the Princeton address. They do not go to the Princeton schools, right? So if you want a Princeton school for your child, right, and you buy a house in Lawrenceville, they're going to Lawrenceville High School. You know, my son just graduated Princeton High School last year. We went to a football dinner, and the starting nose tackle from Lawrenceville Township was, I believe, going to Stanford on a full scholarship for football. Pretty amazing school, pretty amazing story. Nice kid, too. So, and there's a lot of amenities. There's a mall in Lawrenceville. There's Colonial Lake. If you want to live on a lake community, it's a 25-acre lake. There's community rec. There's 15 different parks in Lawrenceville that you can access as residents. So let's take a look now at average pricing, right? And this is where I think Lawrenceville has a definitive allure, right? So unfortunately, I would say West Windsor, Princeton, they have higher school rankings than Lawrenceville. It is what it is. Lawrenceville has improved dramatically, I think, over the last 10 years, and they've made it a huge point to improve their school scores. However, please understand the math. The average single-family home price in West Windsor is $891,000 year-to-date 2025. Princeton, $1.78 million. Lawrenceville, $655,000. It is definitively more affordable. You can get a two-bedroom condo in the $300,000 to $400,000 range in Lawrenceville. You can't do that anywhere else, right? The median price was $630,000, so pretty stable. The high single family for West Windsor, 2.2, Princeton, 5.39, Lawrenceville, 1.98 million. So you have very expensive real estate being transacted in Lawrenceville. The average may be 655, but there are big time estates on some of the back roads in Lawrenceville. However, if you're a buyer and you're looking to get in the market, the cheapest single family in Lawrenceville that transacted in 2025 was $173,000. Princeton was $525,000. So it doesn't take a mathematical PhD to understand that Lawrenceville is definitively more affordable than Princeton. So if you're looking to get in on the property ladder, right, Lawrenceville is an amazing place to do that. It just is what it is. So if this was helpful, please subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. This is the Wilton Report, and I'm Josh Wilton.